manufacturing, and bioinformatics. So these are the emerging technologies and applications in human computer interface. See, now I thank to our principal sir, management for giving their support and encouragement for conducting such type of programs. So in the department. See, finally, I very much thankful to today's resource person, Mr. Vivian Rajgaru from Germany. And also, I thank to CV Ranjit Garu from Philips Healthcare, Healthcare Technology, Mumbai. Dr. Martin Garu, Karunya University, and Dr. G. Rajesh Garu, Anna University, Dr. K. Surendran Garu, with Vellore, Tamil Nadu. Finally, I thank to teaching and non-teaching staff of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering for giving their cooperation and making this program a grand success. I believe that this 1 week online web series program will fulfill the gap between academics and industry. Finally, I thank to everyone for giving me this opportunity. Thank you one and all. Now, I request our beloved principal, Dr. S.M.E. Narayan Garu, to address this program, please.
Founder of Annamacharya Educational Trust, Sri Choppa Gangireddy Garu, Executive Director Sri Abhishek Reddy Garu, and the organizers of this webinar, Head of Electronics and Communication Department, and the Faculty of Electronics and Communication Engineering Department of Annamacharya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Rajampet, and today's resource person, Sri V. Nagaraj Garu, and other teaching and persons from industry present. A very good morning to all of you.
Good morning,
And
sir.
I welcome you all to this 1 week webinar series on recent advancements in soft computing techniques in applied electronics. And all of you know very well that this soft computing, it uses artificial intelligence, and it is different from hard computing. And at the same time, you know very well that this soft computing, research in soft computing, for research in soft computing especially, sky is the only limit. For hard computing, there may be limitations, but I do not know because I don't belong to ECE department or ECE or CSE. I am a civil man. But these hard computings may have limitations, but the soft computing has no limitations. It is because, as you know very well, the human brain, it has 1 lakh crore neurons, 10 lakh crore neurons, and each neuron acts as a computer, and delving all these 10 lakh crore computers is a very big task for a human being. And that's why research in this artificial intelligence and in this software computing is very vast. And wherever we end up, we feel that we have ended up. I think there will be a beginning from that point also. So sky is the only limit, and there will be more and more possibilities for research in this field. And the present resource persons and the speakers, they come with recent techniques in soft computing, and which will be useful for all the faculty members and persons from industry to apply them in the field. and also especially the faculty members, they can understand this easily as the resource persons, they are all reputed ones, and you can impart this knowledge and this training to the students so that they will also get benefited. And I firmly hope and believe that this 1 week webinar series on recent advancements of soft computing technologies in applied electronics will be very much useful to all the participants, and in turn to the persons connected to them, that is the students to which these faculty members teach, and also the industries in which the persons now present they work. And finally, I wish this web series to be a grand success. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now,
Okay, good morning, my dear participants. So okay, it is my privilege to introduce our today guest speaker. So Vangapandu Venkat Nagaraj sir, properly known as Raj VVN, is a dynamic young serial entrepreneur who has emerged as a true pioneer, helping thousands of Indian energy engineering students to learn the most advanced German technologies at their doorsteps in India. He is based from Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh. Being a technology enthusiast, he always used to be a search of technology and opportunities across the world since his childhood. In this process, he has been in several countries and currently he is residing in Germany since last 5 years. Mr. Vivian Rasser finished his graduation in field of aerospace engineering and accomplished his master's degree also in aerospace engineering from Aachen University, Germany. During his bachelor's and master's studies, he accomplished complex projects in Indian Space Research Organization, Sriharikota Rocket Launching Station, India, and optimizing the acoustic noise at launch pad during spacecraft launch in supersonic and hypersonic departments at Germany. He begins his career into the entrepreneurship world in short time. As of now, he is holding a responsibility as a director in 4 different international companies located various countries like Germany, Finland, Netherlands, and India. Currently, he is establishing the remote industrial automation labs at Indian academic sector with cooperation of APS, European Center of Mechatronics, along with various academic and research activities to support Indian academic and SME sector. Through his vision is collaborated his vision, he collaborated with 10 plus governments, 100 plus universities, 5,000 plus students in order to support Indian ecosystem with Industry 4.0 applications and German technologies. Now, I am cordially inviting our today guest speaker to take over the session. Hello.
Thank you, Mr. Tirunaya. Thank you for such a nice words. And first of all, I'm happy to be with Annamacharya. Annamacharya is always close to my heart because of Gangareddy Garu and also Abhishek Reddy Garu. Because I met Abhishek Reddy Garu in Germany, and of course Tirumalaya and team also here in Germany. So I'm very happy, and also I'm thankful for today's invitation. And they're happy to see this kind of the wonderful events organized by your team and supported by your principal Narayan Garu and also your HOD Nagaraj Garu. So yeah, these kind of things are very important and interesting for the students, and also even for us also it is very important to communicate and interact with the students. So well, thanks once again for this today's invitation, and I'm so happy. And yeah, very good morning from Germany. Yeah, technically is really a good morning from Germany. So only because of Annamacharya I was this early to the office today. And okay, guys, I see that the good number of participants in the today's session. So as your principals have mentioned, yeah, this has a vast scope of soft computing, and also the topic what your team has chosen is really wonderful. Uh, so I think so before without delaying any time, I really would like to share my screen and jump onto the today's topic. Then maybe if we have any questions or something, that we can interact. So today I really focusing as today the first day, the inaugural kind of a talk, and also not limiting only for some kind of a welcome thing, and also trying to share the real picture. So when I see the other topics of other colleagues are giving in the next days, I feel like maybe today if I can really create some kind of the light, if I'm throwing a light into the tunnel, maybe the participants and students will be interesting what kind of things are happening in the global context. So I know everybody is worrying about this pandemic and what is going on in the actual scenario and how the things are moving, and because of the COVID is affecting and all these things. But despite of all these points, it is very important that we are moving also forward. So could you please, any one of you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, sir. So it is visible, sir.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, great. So that is the reason, like everybody in ambiguity, but of course we have to accept the ambiguity and we have to move forward. So today, that is the reason. Actually, I'm putting a context, like just trying to throw a light of how global opportunities are changing in the field of emerging technologies. As actually the speakers before me, the welcome remarks given by your team already mentioned the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and advanced techniques, how it is happening. So I'm just trying to showcase, like what is already happening in the manufacturing segment and also in the global platform, and what kind of adaptation the students and researchers and institutions might require to move forward to achieve the good and potential growth. So I'm actually trying to talk from the experiences of so Mr. Tirumala already given some very nice words about me. So yeah, a couple of other flags. What I am actually having is we're also part of the National Skill Development Corporation Sector Council, where we actually creating some kind of a standardization for learning processes in India. And also in Germany, we are creating this kind of a dual education, vocational education, what Germany is good for. So from these experience, actually, I'm just trying to do some kind of a gap analysis and trying to showcase what are the different opportunities and other things that are happening. We already started this kind of implementation since a few years, because our intention is and our realization a few years back already, uh, we need to create some kind of innovation factory in the college level. So where we started like creating some kind of a German expertise support to solve Indian academic and industry issues, where actually our fleet has started to having a presence in the different locations. Then in the present scenario with the governmental supports of Indo-German governmental support and creating this kind of industry 4.0 thing, we able to have some kind of footprint in India with German technology. In the future, what we are doing is we are creating some kind of a university cluster. So where all this technology, what you are talking today about new advancement, adaptations, this is the funnel we are proceeding. And a few numbers we are, as actually Mr. Tumlay already mentioned, like we did this benchmarking by having different collaborations and different presence, where we are trying to support 5+ states in India with having a presence of 10+ countries, and collaboration with 25+ Indian abroad universities, and having more than 50 research locations in India. And of course in that 31 in AP. This is very special for us, Andhra Pradesh, when we are actually dealing the things. And yeah, so the large number and the perspective of, we are very happy that we are able to impact 10,000+ students with Indo-German knowledge initiatives, which recently Forbes also noted. So now jumping into the today's topic, there are new technologies and emerging technologies. So when we are talking about emerging tech and new technology, everybody is talking about uh, industry 4.0. What is exactly industry 4.0, and which is nothing but the machine to machine communication what we'd like to achieve our results. So it is actually started with 200 years back with the first industrial revolution, and where the machines started supporting the human mankind. Then how this industry 4.0 even changing the face. And I would like to show some kind of examples how this technology is already implementing in some kind of a manufacturing plants, by considering one of the example from Germany. And I also would like to provide some information to you how this COVID really impacting, and how the impacting can be taken forward and taken backward with doing some kind of a skill gap analysis. And would like to throw some light also with the German and Indian perspective from our practices. And of course, as you are spending some 60 to 90 minutes time, I really would like to showcase, like, how some kind of a takeaways and how some proceedings also can be taken forward especially in the era of industry 4.0. So one of the major segment and major sector is the manufacturing. So of course, in every sector actually having some kind of kickoffs, and definitely industry 4.0 played a big role in creating a very precision oriented manufacturing. And this is the also one advancement, one very key point as the collaborative robots, where the mission to mission interacting actually really achieved. So if you see this kind of some kind of a survey robot, which is designed to work with the human co-workers, which means if you are having some kind of a broader picture of creating a results with more precision and tech oriented, then it is also important to take the machine help to actually repeat the same issue. Just a simple example, like, for example, if you are doing some kind of a welding, and welding actually you are doing in a single line. So if you are allowed to do, for example, multiple times, so first time it will go to 100% accuracy. Second time, yes. Third time, yes. Fourth time, yes. What about fifth time? At least 0.001% will change. So fifth time, sixth time, seventh time. So this kind of the human error, and this kind of the human error. I think somebody is talking. Could you please make a mute? Okay, so to reduce this kind of the human error and to actually achieve this kind of result oriented, this is where the emerging tech helping the human mankind. And I would like to show one example in the advanced industry, where actually you can see all these emerging tech and all emerging tech applications were used sufficiently, and then we will talk about it. So the reason behind this video is if you see in the multiple segments, so in the production line, when you are moving from the object, the car in the conveyor belt, so this computer vision, so which means like in automotive factory, when we are talking about only the production of automotive products and components, it's not only a mechanical process, how the artificial intelligence is uh, helping one process. So if you observe here, so see this kind of a computer vision application. So it is actually, notifying the labeling of the car. So if you are having only one or two cars, okay, it is very easy to identify and is manually able to write it. But if you are having the multiple and hundreds of cars producing in a day, such a companies like a BMW, how they are going to take it. So this kind of, the identifying and also having this all the labels together, this is actually linking with the computer vision. And if you also see some kind of error analysis, this guy is doing some kind of a manual process, but at the same time they're also saying like, yeah, same time they're also seeing that how this labeling process and moving to the production plan. If you see here, these are the pressing units of BMW car, which means if you are sending one aluminum sheet inside, so these are like pressing dice where it will actually pressing the sheet into the car body shape. So which means when you are doing this kind of a very complex applications, there is a very good chances of having error. So how you are doing this kind of error analysis? And it is very difficult if somebody some manual person want to do it. So this kind of vision applications and backend with lot of computing power, because that can, if you want to do the analysis, you need to know all the results and case studies of that particular application, and then only you are able to compare and you are able to actually analyze the thing. So this kind of multiple iterations in the human process, it will create a lot of error areas. That is the reason actually, if you interlinking the machine learning and computer vision and actually combining with good computing power and backend with some kind of a good sensor to identify the things, nothing but eyes like a human, like so that is a sensor which is actually taking the data and processing and implementing results and comparing the results. At the same time, now especially in the kind of the pandemic condition, the low tech automation and low cost automation is very important in bringing this kind of application to into the real field. I see in your next days, you're also having some application towards IoT and industrial IoT and AI into this kind of application. So this is one of the advanced application what I'm showing here, where was implemented in the industry in one of the prestigious German company. So if you also see when this person is doing analysis, this person also will be having the way to identify the error and also having the path to reach there. Then it will allow this person to go and actually check that particular object. So where the error is happening and how actually we can take it forward and how is not taking forward. And this is very important because actually not only identifying error and also quick recovery. This is very important when you are doing such a complex analysis in a very esteemed companies, because the time is money for them. So that is the reason actually. So this kind of emerging tech adaptation into the real world is really helpful in creating and reaching a precision. And not only this, I mean, when we are moving in the kind of era of industry 4.0 and emerging tech, as I mentioned, we need to follow the low cost and also great flexibility, and how this flexibility adopting into the good results. So one such example is the machining, and how the machining is happening, and in all already you studied in your subjects. So I just would like to showcase, one more analysis of the Wall Street and the Wall Street Journal. So here actually how the machining of the robot is taken as a one case study, and how it became a increasingly popular option for manufacturing of large because this kind of complex topics is in a very well demand to solve. So as a researcher, as a student researcher, or maybe faculty researcher, it is very important to take look into this kind of a complex thing and solve with the industry perspective and industrial way. So how to go about it and how to solve it, and also very importantly, as today we are putting this into the Indo-German context, adopting to the Indian mindset and also Indian manufacturing mindset is also very important. Let's actually, this is what some 8 minutes worth of the video. It will really give some kind of a good analysis, in the different perspectives of the world from the US.
Some economists say the world is entering a second machine age. Artificial intelligence and other advancements enabling robots to do tasks that until now only human eyes,
Excuse me, sir.
minds, and hands
Sir,
could
the
handle.
video is not
For this
visible, sir.
episode of Moving Upstream, we
Sorry, the video is not
Sir, video is not visible, sir.
now.
some economists say the world
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, just a second. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it is visible, sir, now.
some economists say the world is entering
Video is
a
also playing.
second machine age. Artificial intelligence and other advancements enabling robots to do tasks that until now only human eyes, minds, and hands could handle. For this episode of Moving Upstream, we traveled through Asia to meet the next generation of industrial robots, where robots are making robots.
Well, they're making love to these robots. Keep making babies. Yes, right.
To see how they're changing manufacturing and whether they're sealing the fate of low-skilled workers.
Sir. Screen is visible, sir. Yeah.
Every other
But
year,
video is not playing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, just a second. Maybe. I'll just to show in folder maybe. Please confirm me, Andy. Is screen visible now? Tirumale garu, is screen visible now?
Sir. Yeah, it is only blank screen, sir, appearing. So we are seeing the blank.
Okay, now still blank. Even now it's a blank screen, Andy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, now it is coming, sir.
Ah,
His video is coming.
It's coming, sir.
okay, sir. Now it is coming, sir.
Okay, I'm playing. Please confirm whether it is.
the world is entering a
Is it okay?
second machine age. Artificial
Ray,
intelligence.
క్లాస్ వదిలేసి ఏం చేస్తున్నారా నువ్వు?
Until now, eyes, minds, and hands could handle.
Yes, sir.
For this episode
Okay.
of Moving Upstream,
Playing now, sir.
traveled through
Okay.
Asia to meet the next generation of industrial robots, where robots are making robots.
Well, they're making love to these robots. Keep making babies. Yes, right.
To see how they're changing manufacturing and whether they're sealing the fate of low-skill workers. Every other year, Tokyo plays host to the world's largest robotics trade show, IREX. It's no coincidence the show is in Asia. Here, robots are being bought and sold in numbers unrivaled anywhere else in the world. These are the types of robots Professor Erik Brynjolfsson is keeping an eye on as MIT's chief scholar on the digital economy.
We used to have to really painstakingly teach the machines step by step, program them what to do. And now machine learning is enabling the machines to figure out on their own how to solve problems. You put together the algorithms, the data, and the computer chips, and you get sometimes a millionfold improvement in the performance of these systems.
A millionfold improvement?
Yeah.
And what does that allow you to do?
So one really important thing to do on the factory floor is just be able to recognize objects. And that's something that only humans could do well until recently.
At IREX, we witnessed a robot handling a task that I, as a human, don't do so well, futzing with one of those pesky tape dispensers. It's among the latest offerings from Yaskawa, one of the world's largest manufacturers of industrial robots. Its main sellers are large industrial robots that do dangerous things like welding car parts. We visit one of Yaskawa's robot manufacturing facilities in the southern port city of Kitakyushu. Here, the public can try controlling and racing against AI-enhanced robot arms.
You're done.
We got to see where the robots are made.
The robots themselves, they're sealed off by these plastic barriers.
The workers aren't allowed to be in there while they're in operation because they're making these very fast movements. The head of the robotics division at Yaskawa, Masahiro Ogawa, seems most excited to talk about robots that don't need to be walled off from humans, that work alongside employees. In the industry, they're called cobots. The International Federation of Robots predicts in coming years, cobots will lead the robotics industry. That's partially what's driving startups like China-based Elephant Robotics to get in the game.
Heated people, so it will just stop.
Yeah.
So work with people.
Yeah, works with people.
Yeah.
We asked their founder, Ju-Yi Song, how his cobot is different from traditional robot arms.
It moves not that quick, and it is very, very light.
Okay.
So it can work with people. So this is the most important thing.
In addition to being safer, the collaboration proves to be more productive. A study conducted by MIT researchers found that human-machine groups were more efficient than teams wholly comprised of one or the other. They also reduced human idle time by 85%. While traveling through Japan, we visited Huis-ten-Bosch, a Holland-themed amusement park. There we checked out its latest attraction, a robot restaurant.
How many okonomiyaki pancakes can the robot make in an hour?
今のロボットで焼ける枚数っていうのは1時間でだいたい5、6枚ぐらいだと思います。まだまだそんなに早くない。でもそれだけ丁寧に作ってますから。
My colleague Matt McDonald, after getting a robot mixed cocktail, tried the robot chef's signature dish.
よく日本ではどんどん少子高齢化で、特に若い人たちの人口がこれからどんどん減っていく、これがもう目に見えて迫っている状況ですから、じゃあいかに効率的にこのレストランのオペレーションができるのか、いかに少ない人手で。
It's gimmicky by design. Back at Yaskawa, Ogawa tells us most of the customers who come to him looking for new automation solutions come from China.
China market huge, and the growth ratio very high.
How high? Last year, Chinese demand for robots grew more than 20%. One reason for that is China's working population is aging. By 2060, the average Chinese citizen is projected to be 50 years old. To see the impact of industrial robots on manufacturing in China, we traveled to an area that's considered the electronics capital of the world, the Pearl River Delta region. Headquartered there is Rappu, China's largest keyboard and mice manufacturer. We asked the CEO why his company is making the move towards robotics.
Because in China have a rapid salary increase beginning from 2008. So we feel the little pressure from the labor side. So we decided to change a lot our manufacturing system to robot.
Wages for the average urban employee in China have more than doubled since 2008. Rappu, he says, in the past few years, used robotics to reduce its factory workforce from 2,500 people to now 1,000. And more automation is on the way.
So you're bringing more robots in?
Yeah, and then make even the logistics we use a robot.
You seem very happy about this.
Yeah, because it will make my company more competitive in the field.
And you're not worried when you lay off those 700 workers?
No, they can easily get jobs, no problem.
China's unemployment rate is 4.6%, pretty low. And the Chinese government says it's even lower in urban areas. Most of them are getting jobs. They're not having to go back to the farm.
They cannot go back. And right
they can't
now,
go back?
No, but they can go back, but for them it's no meaning to go back because they will easily find another job because China is growing very fast.
When we talk to CEOs in China, do you think they're being forthright? Do you think they're being accurate?
Broadly, I think they are. I think that there are going to be lots and lots of jobs that are automated, millions, hundreds of millions of jobs that won't be needed because robots will do them. But there's no shortage of work that only humans can do.
Indeed, in China, the category of jobs that are growing fastest are in the service sector. Is there any resistance from workers to putting these new robots in?
No, because they have no choice.
Your plant that you oversee has already been automated 80%, you said. Do you see it going the rest of that 20%?
Li Zhendu, a worker at the Rappu factory, has watched as robots have replaced his colleagues.
How far off do you think we are from full automation? Nobody left working in your department.
这个要根据公司来决定这种事。然后具体的话还是看公司层面。
Chinese delivery company JD is showing how automation is advancing in other industries like logistics. There are still some employees here, but not at a JD sorting center near Shanghai. It's taking nearly all humans out of this process. And this is the same company that last year began making drone deliveries.
This is a moment of choice and opportunity. It could be the best 10 years ahead of us that we've ever had in human history, or one of the worst, because we have more power than we've ever had before. Tools by themselves are not going to lift up the billions of people who are being left behind. Those are conscious choices we have to make as a society and as individuals.
In just 6 years, worldwide sales of industrial robots have risen more than 140%.
Yes. So as I mentioned, the robot sales is actually increased 140% in the last 6 years. So if you observe this 8 minutes of the video, so actually the worth spending on this video is, if you see the multiple points has been analyzed in this video. So one, from the robots are making the robots, which is actually, we are actually reaching a condition that, okay, machine is communicating with the machine. And also from the MIT review, already they are actually talking about 1 million hand folding increment in the analysis. For example, using the machine learning. So this is the reason, how AI and machine learning is impacting every sector. So in the manufacturing and also improving sector also, how it is actually coming, how it is improving. So this is from one of the prestigious institute in the world, MIT given a review. So 1 million 1 million fold increment is happening. And at the same time, if you observe this video, also this video actually given analysis of the robots, the movement of robots to cobots, because one of the very important factor here is robot safety. So if we see when in the Escava, in the Escava manufacturing, they're having some kind of the plastic sheets and also some kind of iron cubes where the robots are placing. And from there, if you see this kind of a screenshot of the video where the human is working very near to the cobot, which means we are able to bring the robot or cobot, whatever maybe, into our life more nearer than earlier. And not only that, they are also actually talking about, by taking one example, Shenzhen region in China. So also they touched one point, like, China is actually, decreasing the population with the young population and reaching actually the age of 50, and also the salaries are doubling in the last 5 years. But same, the advantage what we can actually grab to India here is we have very young population and we have very young percentage of population. If we are really able to impact this emerging tech along with our young population, we are able to impact the economic market in a pretty well. So not only this, I mean, the age factor and also the technology factor, and by adding to this, of course, this kind of pandemic limitation what we are having now, if you are able to observe and actually adopt this kind of emerging tech into the our regular process, then it is very easy to get a jobs and to create employability also, rather than actually talking about we are losing a jobs, or we are losing opportunities because of robots. So now everybody is talking about losing a jobs and emerging technologies is killing a jobs, right? I would like to show some kind of analysis and what recently during this pandemic, there is a lot of research also going on how this pandemic going to impact on the job sectors and all. So you are able to see my screen, right? Tirumalai garu, could please confirm?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are seeing your screen, sir. You can continue.
Okay. So this is a thing, like, although the people are talking about jobs are destroying and surpassed number of jobs, and what are the jobs for tomorrow, and how the creation is happening. So this is not actually from my words. This is the analysis, and by considering the smart factory automation and merging the different analysis. So the job creation is not only declining, it is also, like, of course, it declined being 15.4% of the workforce to 9%, which means, like, we can see easily the 6.4 declination here. But after actually, emerging these professions, definitely will go from 7.8% to 13.5%. Again, like, so, okay, we've seen the declination of 6.4%, but we're still seeing the growth of 5.7%. This is the reason, by considering the emerging technologies adaptation and also seeing the opportunity as early grabbers. So now we're talking about, we are just, seeing the perspective of the German perspective. And before actually getting into the German perspective, first I would like to show little bit of experience of the country, and where the students maybe they really like it. So yeah, let's have a look. just actually, I would like to change a little bit of mindset, our mood from the very deep, hardcore technology to experience Germany in between. Now, the second part of my talk today is driving towards like staying in the German perspective, because as we are seeing that, okay, we are in a very serious situation and we need to adopt the tech, but it is also very important to have a good cultural and good environment and the living, the family bonding and everything. It's also important to actually to drive both the things together. And okay, now again coming back to the topic of like the skill gaps and the growing things and actually creating opportunity. So this kind of analysis actually already has been done few years back, where so despite of the pandemic and when nobody is talking about corona pandemic and nobody is talking about COVID-19 situation, but already in particular to the Indian context, so every segment has a large gap of improvement to achieve the global standards and also to reach the global economy. So if you see the different sectors here, where from starting with infrastructure, even automotive components and building, textile, transport, including retail and real estate and healthcare, food processing and education skill development services. So everywhere the millions of gap are there to actually do the skill development, and which means like whenever we are talking about adopting about emerging technologies, whenever we are talking about like bringing the new analysis in the technologies, it is very it is also important to understand like where we are and what is actually the corners we are actually targeting to achieve and to observe the opportunities. As one of my keyword in my title of today's talk is actually to talk about opportunities and how actually it is going on. So there is a one analysis also has been done worldwide by doing by considering this kind of a skill analysis, and this is the slide what I'm showing. It actually the analysis has been done before the corona pandemic, but after the corona pandemic, and there is a lot of perspective of job scenario has been changed. So let's see how the perspective has been changed, how the new technologies has impacted from the analysis of the World Economic Forum. So do you see? So that many millions of job actually requiring some kind of reskilling, and more than 50%, and not only single disruption, the dozen disruption is going on. So not only we are losing jobs, we are creating jobs, but the thing is we need to open our eyes and also look forward to the new things. And so one of the practice could actually bring, maybe this is important to from the colleges and governments and the researcher side. So we are doing some kind of research, how the technology adaptation need to be happen and how the flexibility adaptation can be happen from the by considering the third developing countries and how the approach can be drawn. So we created this kind of one blended approach, how the most of our partners bringing together their experiences from the academia and industry and the government. And because it's very important, the research, the practice and the policy, all these three things are important to create this kind of approach and to achieve the opportunity. And not only that, actually, in our practices, we also observe that the 3D view of necessities from the policymakers and also the executors and also students and researchers, we observe that. So this kind of a 3D view will give a chance for technology enthusiasts or the change makers to understand how the things can be linked one to other and to achieve the more results. So as we are having more students and also researchers in the today's participants, I also would like to see, I would like to showcase how the study in Germany is happening and how these things can be linked to the next level, how the technologies can be achieved, where the basic step it need to be start in my next slides. So this is also from the study in Germany official source. So just a minute video.
Many young people from all over the world choose to study in Germany. 12% of all students come from abroad. So let's take a look at the German higher education system. In Germany, it's possible to study just about anything. There are over 18,000 different courses, including more than 1,800 international programs, most of which are conducted in English. With such a large range on offer, everybody finds their chosen subject. Also, when it comes to choosing a university or college, you have many options. There are around 400 state-accredited higher education institutions at around 180 different locations. Universities are strongly research-oriented and offer the widest range of subjects. They teach both theoretical knowledge and methodological expertise. Universities of applied sciences concentrate on the application of scientific knowledge and primarily teach professional practice. The range of subjects is focused on areas such as technology, business, social affairs, and media. Colleges of art and music train budding artists, musicians, directors, actors, and designers. Special artistic talent must be displayed in an entrance examination for these courses. A small number of courses are also offered at other specialized institutes. In Germany, there are public and private higher education institutions. More than 90% of students are enrolled in state-run universities and colleges. With such a vast choice, you're bound to find the course that's right for you. Let's talk about the various degree options. You can do a bachelor's degree, a master's, or gain a doctorate. In certain subjects, there are also other degrees, such as the Staatsexamen. However you decide, a degree from a German higher education institution will increase your chances for the future. The cost of living in Germany is moderate compared with other countries around the world, and there are no tuition fees at most higher education institutions. In Germany, you receive first-class education with degrees that are recognized worldwide, and you are also offered excellent support. Ideal conditions for studying a course that furthers your career, whether in your home country or in Germany. So, what are you waiting for? Discover your international side. Study in Germany.
So it's always called the land of ideas. So if you see, today I'm trying to talk about the advanced and most technologies and next some kind of analysis by seeing by considering one of the Asian country and some case study. And I try to show some kind of a gap analysis and how to achieve the gap analysis. Now I am going to talk about different opportunities, which is actually the country as Germany is offering. So if you see, okay, the opportunities with this country is already started with the bachelor's education. So where actually, to come here for the UG studies. So, but I can understand there is so many limitations to get awareness or to come to Germany for a very early age. That was the reason there is also opportunities like study visit, semester exchange, year abroad, and dual degree programs and internships, and also getting a chance to do your bachelor thesis in Germany. And of course, the official website of daad.de where you are able to get into all these opportunities. Of course, now in the new era of a new normal, I think the blended approach and some kind of online learning approach is really required, and also it is very essential to take the things forward. And so even we also did some kind of a research, and we also came out with some kind of a very good model to bring some kind of supporting Indian industries and Indian universities to make some kind of a campus 100 and campus 25 models, where we are able to bring the unique and multiple German universities together to actually connect the dot to distinguish unique global knowledge based programs and international education, and generating international career opportunities for a student, and also creating global employment. So maybe this slide is very important and very interesting for the academic and faculty decision makers and the participants, how to create a new opportunities for your students. So when coming to the student perspective, the change makers next generation is definitely the different technologies. So coming out of the cocoon of the classical education streams. So, but of course, they are also very important. Having the base ground is very strong, and the base is very strong, and interlinking that to some kind of emerging tech and the new technologies like automation, artificial intelligence, and advanced automobiles, and also IoT and aerospace and data sciences. So you already seen in my presentation, how the AI and machine learning applications is really supporting automotive engineering and manufacturing processes. And you also seen that how this machine learning is actually creating, the multiple benefits of the multiple benefits when in order to achieve the results in a very precision oriented. So this is the reason actually we strongly believe in the change making towards the campus 100 activity, where the 100 campus people is campuses India is invited. And also very happy to inform you that we'll be launching this in with Consulate of Frankfurt, Germany support on 6th of July. So we are very happy to invite you also, people also to do it. So these are actually some of our practices, creating some kind of a blended learning activities, and so multiple German institutions actually coming forward to give some kind of a 2 to 3 credit programs to our engineering students, where engineering students actually can have the experience of German technology and German language virtually. This is the one adaptation the new normal has bring onto the table. So the new normal actually talking about how the adaptations and the trainings can be happen. Not only that, and so for example, the universities and is helping. So as I mentioned that the multiple opportunities for the Indian student to come to Germany and to achieve this kind of opportunities. So during a bachelor, there are several universities also in Germany is actually offering this kind of advantages, having 1 year here and getting also a German bachelor degree, having some kind of a credit transfer activities. Not only that, and also you definitely can come to some kind of a master programs where you can come and achieve the different things. So in a nutshell, actually, in toward the opportunities, you can have some kind of internship activity, and even you can have some semester exchange activity from, and also the possibility to have some kind of a language learning by sitting in India, and also from there moving to some kind of a master's education and master's opportunities. So this is how we created some kind of a 360 degree of ecosystem of student to learn the practices and to achieve the technology requirements in the current conditions. As in the context of the COVID, of course, the human is a social animal, and of course, he's a global citizen. And again, the student is intended to compete the global standards. It is very, very important, because by sitting it in one corner of the world, it is when we are envisioning the future. And also that one technology is very important to make yourselves competitive. So these are reason actually some of the things having making yourself is globally certified, making and doing your activities the global, some kind of a global internships. That is the reason actually even we are brought to some kind of a topics like how the students can achieve these things. And last week this was a very good topic. We are talking with the multiple stakeholders, where we are actually able to brought down the new 3 technologies like electric vehicles when we are talking about Toyota, and also the robotics industry 4.0 when we're talking about Robert Bosch, and when IoT and IoT when we are talking about the Crystal Sapphire from German company. So this is how the student actually also can achieve the opportunities to make yourself competent and the industry ready. So I'm just trying to portray the opportunities and from our practices. So I'm not talking completely the vague and where you are coming from and what you are going to do and all. And as in my introduction, Mr. Tirumala, I mentioned that we are also able to achieve to create in this kind of academic cluster where the industry 4.0 and lab industry 4.0 and automation is interlinking, as Anmacharya also having one of our center where your faculty members, couple of members also travel to Germany, and also they're part of our team back in India when our guys are actually visited India. And just not only that, I mean, so we are doing this kind of the practices from the regular and requirement. And if you really want to understand as to how the requirement is really showcasing, I can also show one more case study. And particularly in state of Andhra Pradesh, a couple of years back, the World Economic Forum has been done. So you see already this kind of deception is happening, and targeting $5 billion economy, and already very near to you the opportunities are still opening. And not only this, we through our activity we also observe that how this is moving, and how the results also can be taken forward. You can see the multiple activities in the state able to bring the results to achieve successful pathways. And of course your students and also the faculty also participated. We also see some kind of a hikes and the graph in our graph when we are actually doing this kind of adaptation. So this is very important to understand what kind of technology you are studying, what kind of knowledge you are taking forward, and how the adaptation is taken. For example, in next days you are also listening to the actual teachers, how the technology is, new disruptions are happening, how the research are happening. As the topic is actually, in electric field and electronics field, how it is changing. I believe it is also very important to understand where you are able to see some kind of application linkage and developing the activities. Perfect. And before actually, winding up and concluding our thing, I also would like to showcase, how best the things are changing. And there is one initiative across the world already taken, COVID-25 initiative. And because this, when we are achieving and when we are targeting when we want to achieve and when we are targeting the high level end of activity, it's very important to adopt the learning pathway, and also very important to learn how to take the things in the right direction. So I would like to show one initiative called COVID 2025 initiative, because we strongly believe when you're talking about Industry 4.0, you definitely need to be in the activity like Education 5.0. So which means your learning practice definitely one step ahead than your practice and education models. So let's see actually what is this kind of a COVID 2025 initiative, and maybe the researchers who are in the participant, you can understand, you can try to see how this can be adopted in the Indian context.
It's an awful time in the world, but I think it's a really interesting time in education. We've never had a moment like this one where everyone at the same time has jumped into this technology.
The coronavirus is changing life as we know it on a daily basis. In COVID 2025, we'll explore how the pandemic is rewriting our future.
The ability to teach through the technology is really powerful. I can lecture, I can call on students, I can engage in Socratic dialogue. I can replicate what I can do in the classroom. Things that have been hard in the past, bringing in guest speakers, being in multiple campuses at once, the ability to tie those together in a much more seamless fashion, I think that's exciting. Distance shrinks in this medium. I think we're going to see it used throughout education in the United States, at the pre-college level, college, professional level. That's exciting across the planet. There's definitely been a trend towards remote learning. I think that's been unevenly distributed. This is going to give us a second set of tools. We've had one way of doing things, and now we're going to have an additional way of doing things. And I think that's what's exciting. It's just like you're a chef or something, and all of a sudden I've said, here's an entirely new set of ingredients you've never worked with. To really make this technology work and to do so on the widest possible basis, we need to have the physical infrastructure in place to do that. So I'm sure you've been reading stories about what's happening at the pre-college level, places where they'd like to do online education and they don't have internet. They don't have a device to do that. We frame that as a digital divide. I'm teaching a class right now where we're talking about Federal Communications Commission broadband policy. Broadband's so incredibly important. So had this happened 10 years ago, I think we wouldn't be doing anything like we are doing now. When we built this country, we made a decision to make the post office, which was the most direct instantiation of the federal government. We put it everywhere, even in rural towns where there was no way that made financial sense, because we wanted everyone to be connected together in this new democratic enterprise that was the United States. Shrinking the digital divide is really about federal resources. The COVID crisis makes it clear how important this is. Privacy issues are obviously important. Now as we bring this into our educational environment, what am I allowed to screenshot? Can I take pictures of students? Are those educational records? We have a federal privacy statute for student records that controls all of that. If I want to use a camera to take a screenshot, it's not as visible as it is in a classroom. And so how we bring the right privacy values to this new environment is something we're going to work out. Law evolves in conjunction with social evolution. As technology evolves and how we're using the technology evolves, law comes around along with it. I think we need to be careful with regard to this technology. I think there will be a temptation to think we can swap in technology for the in-person experience that shows up in a classroom. And I think that would be wrong. I'm staring into a camera right now. To the idea that we could put this camera in the front of the classroom and we've delivered an education, a rigorous education, an education where you test and consider ideas, reject some, accept others. I think it would be a mistake to think we can simply swap one in and swap out the other. We need to augment, not replace. 5 years from now, we'll be beyond the medical crisis, beyond the economic crisis, and we'll be able to take this technology and this period of experimentation and we will have figured out really how to put it to use. I think that means that we will be shrinking distances. We will be able to bring people into a classroom in an easy fashion. The country, the world runs on ideas. We need to get those ideas in as many possible ways to as many possible people. I think this technology is going to help us do that.
Great. So do you observe not only technology and this kind of teaching practice and teaching analysis, also doing, there's a lot of research is going on. So which means like, we need to augment, like, it is not like replacing, we need to augment each other. So yeah, so we are here. So let's take your initiative according to your requirement. We are happy to support and we are ready to support. And students, so technically you are the people and you are the person to decide. So Industry 4.0, nothing but only the machine. Industry 4.0 is you, and how the technology taking into you, and how you are defining your requirement and you are achieving your opportunity. So on this note, I would like to conclude my information sharing for today. And yeah, very happy to have the questions now, or maybe you also can write me anytime. Very happy to support. So definitely on your behalf and potential growth together, and I'm open to discussion. So Tirumala garu, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful speech. On emerging technologies and Industry 4.0, and also you added that is the studying of the MS opportunities in Germany. Dear participants, do you have any doubts? You can ask, and sir is ready to clarify your doubts regarding your doubts on emerging technologies. So how to add knowledge to the robotics or missions, and also how to get the seat in some German universities. And sir also maintaining, he is also founder and president of, he also working as a president German University of Advanced Studies. So participant, do you have any doubts? You can ask. No.
I think my talk is very clear. There is no question.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again, a big thank to you, sir. For accepting my request, even though you have a tight schedule, and also you came to your office at 7:30 a.m. in Germany. So exclusively for this program, I am very grateful to you, sir. And I am grateful to you, for delivering your valuable speech and facilitating the opportunities to the Indian students in order to meet the Industry 4.0 and automation applications.
Thank you, Andy. So I think only because of Tirumala garu, his extensive follow-up. So because of him only, I'm here today. So apart from Abhishek Anna, for sure, of course.
Sir. Yeah. Okay, management is always backbone for us, sir. Okay. Yeah. Okay, with the support of our today guest speaker, Vivian Raj sir, and head of the department, that is C.H. Nagara sir, and principal S.M.B. Narayana sir, and other faculty members. I am concluding this session, and we will meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m. The feedback link for this session is shared in the group chat, and you have to fill. It will be available for 1 hour, up to 1 o'clock, and then all the participants should submit the feedback. Okay, thank you for your patience. Thank you, sir. Sir Raj sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, you can leave.
Sir, hello.
Oh, tell me, sir. Tell me.
So may I talk, sir?
Tell
so
me,
how
sir.
to feedback out? Sir,
Feedback is linked shared in the chat box, sir. Chat box.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Chat box is not visible, sir.
Okay, I will post this link in WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. We will meet again tomorrow. Tomorrow 10 o'clock sharply. The session will be started by the Ranjit CV, and it is electrical architect for Philips Healthcare Company.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.